Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and exciting times! Waste Night Beyond the Horizon expansion. This is looking really great. Now, I do have the Waste Night 2nd edition Kickstarter edition, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you love role-playing games and choose your own adventure games or adventures, this is fantastic. And the post-apocalyptic world feels like a lived-in part of the world. You know, it's not as chaotic as Mad Max. It's kind of beyond that, where places have established itself. So there's like safer zones to go to, and loot still to find in the dangerous places. On the box cover, which looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? You're going to be able to go into the ocean because the base game is based in Australia, which is really nice. And so here you're going to be able to go out and visit the islands that are around, including like New Zealand and some of the other islands. My geography is not great, of Oceania, but basically you'll be able to travel around the continent of Australasia or Oceania, whatever you prefer. But this expansion also, with its new board, allows you to use the ports in the second edition. So if you're playing a campaign from the second edition and you want to travel between ports, you can do now. And it also offers a new mechanic of thirst, which brings a bit more survival aspect to the game, which is neat also. It calls itself a massive expansion, and I think what it means by massive is that there's going to be lots more story content coming in, which is going to be good. Right, let's go down then. Now this, get this for 24 hours, which if you're a subscriber on the channel, you'll probably get this video and you'll be able to get this in time, I guess. But if you're watching this after that 24 hours, then think about subscribing on the channel, I guess. Anyway, peeps, if you love board games, maybe you should. I have a unique voice, am I not? I think that's why we're rolling towards 900 subscribers, and if you are a subscriber, we do thank you from the bottom of our hearts at the station. So yeah, €9 this guy will cost you. Yeah, it's another night. We've got like loads of nights as it is, so this is just another one to the collection. This guy is kind of funny because he's like cast away on one of the islands and he's got a pet pig. So he is fairly cool. Just looking here, he's double on the guns, means he gets 2 dice rolling if he's shooting guns. So we'll get to see that as we go down. I'll explain a bit of the game as it shows off. But yeah, the minis are all nice. This guy looks like he's had some kind of wash put on him. Question mark. And are they going to offer a wash? Alright, so you can get the second edition of Waste Nights here, the Kickstarter edition, and if you've got the retail version of the Waste Nights, you can get an upgrade, so you've got all the Kickstarter exclusive stuff, which there was a ton of, especially story and campaign questing. Absolutely, we'll talk about that as we go down. There's so much to talk about here. Now, it says 14 plus on this. It can get a little bit like gritty, of course, the world of post-apocalyptic, so, but it's not kind of 18 rated. So, you know, you might say PG, I don't know, PG-17 maybe. Now, the art in this game is one of the most amazing things about the world because it's so well done. So much love has gone on this project. It really is. And you can see these new cards coming in. We've got 3 new knights already, and which are looking great, in fact. I'm just looking at these from afar. A lot of them have got like green dice, which is like really nice dice and all that stuff. So anyway, you notice there's loads of new vehicles for boating around, which is sweet. And you can see all the islands around here. And I didn't really notice it when I played Waste Nights that there were 6 ports, but it's obvious the 6 ports looking at this map. And there is a couple of light vehicles, and I'm assuming the light vehicles from the base game also will be able to fit on some of these ships, because some of these ships, which we'll see, is like a raft, so you can put your rig, your boat on, and maybe take it across one of these islands. Now, when you go to these islands, I'm assuming there's going to be a map for them inside the travel book, because that's kind of what happens. For example, on the base game, there is a mission that takes you out to an island, and when you go to the island in the mission book, the book itself becomes the island with spots to walk around on. So I'm wondering if all these spots are going to have that. Hopefully we'll get that in an update as it goes through the campaign, but trust me, it's not just a location you're going to go to. There's going to be like a map for these, guaranteed. And it looks like you've got this green dice, which maybe suggests stuff that can happen. Now the water looks a little bit glum, doesn't it? I did tell Gallica that it needs to be more vibrant. You know, the hues, the blue hues of water, and potentially reef colours, toxic colours. Like, it's supposed to be a bit toxic in areas, but it should still have the depth of light blues around the ocean and stuff like that, because it only goes this kind of blue when it goes deep, and it's certainly not deep off the shelf of Australia. You know, you've got that beautiful aqua water all around Australia. So anyway, this is work in progress. Story-driven adventures. Yeah. Choose your own adventure is what it is. Game is rich in immersion, theme, and adventure. Every decision has a great and interesting impact on your adventure. Alright, so there's the raft. Yeah, so 6 new destinations around Australia. Tasmania, New Zealand. We're going to be needing ships, chartering ships, new sea cards, custom sea dice to get you where you want to go. This sounds delicious. The drink mechanic here, plastic water markers, and dehydration cards. These are going to update travel cards as well on the main board. Some new factions, actually, the Seafarers and the Landlubbers. This is good to see. More factions coming into the game. It says these new knights. Raha Wade is ready to sell his soul for a good price to Razulka with her impressive combat skills. What's going on here? Anyway, new upgrade cards. These are fantastic. A lot of the upgrade cards are generic between, or really agnostic, should I say, not generic. You do have upgrades for each of your characters, but you might want to get something from them. The agnostic upgrade cards as well. Now it says this expansion is new story adventures and never be seen before sandbox adventures. There's going to be good stuff where you're going to need the base game as well. So you're going to need 2nd edition map. You know, so you can't really see this as standalone, because potentially if you need that big map in the middle, it's going to be pulling you around, you know. But yeah, make the world bigger, have more adventures, more knights, more enemy types coming through. Sounds fantastic. There she is, the Razulka, a bit of toxicity. Yeah. Raha Wade, the trader. There's a good trader from the 2nd Kickstarter edition, which is like the scavenger. He was like the early bird, the €9 scavenger guy. And of course, he's the castaway. Now the knights here, you'll notice on the left, the 0 to 9. That's the level they are. And When they get to level 3 and level 6 and level 9, which is noted in the gold, that means they can choose a upgrade to their character, which is lovely. So it almost plays like a, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, where you're playing your first 3 levels of a campaign, and there's loads of like different campaigns then that you can take this on. So you can imagine how long that would take in a Dungeons and Dragons adventure to get from level 1 to level 3, or in this case level 1 to level 9. It could take maybe 3 hours. The big ones, they can take a long time. It denotes time of like things that you do. Yeah, loads of nice art. The board looks really long here. I really like how it looks. I'd love to see a picture of this next to the Australia board from the 2nd edition. That would be really good. I keep kind of having this impulse to press that right mouse button. What's going on? 7 ships, and potentially there's going to be stretch goals, so this is going to be stretched out. I love these sea cards. Look at the stuff that they've got here, even mechanicalized fish and stuff. Definitely looks great, this. I think that random element when you're going out though. Now it says 24 new destination cards, which suggests that there is kind of like a lot of things to be doing here, which is all good. Now then, these exploration cards are going to have thirst on as well, and special cards. These new special cards, these are related to kind of missions that you're doing. It will specifically tell you to get the special card like 24 to get the satellite phone and stuff like that. Now these wasteland cards, I'm curious if these are just going to roll into the main deck, and so that you've got more enemies in the base game. You know, because potentially when you go to the island, you're still going to see enemies and stuff. Because the sea enemies looks like they're coming from the cars, isn't it? Loads of new gear as well, which is fantastic. Yeah, so the general upgrades are the agnostic ones. The personal ones, of course, are for the people. If there's 3 new knights coming in, that suggests 12 personal upgrade cards for them. It would nice to be, if I request one thing, it would be to stretch the personal upgrade cards so they got more choice. That would be nice. Just buff out the knights a bit more. And conditions for dehydration sounds great. Now, rulebook, the guide basically that will. I've done it again, right mouse button. What's going on with my hands today? Dear me. That's going to be like a giant book of like text with numbers on it, and it will say if you want to do this, go to this number, or you want to do that, go to this number, or if you've got this object, go to this other number. So yeah, very good. Now, obviously I'm on this pledge because it's an Insta pledge. And I just want to say, I did a video about the biggest competition on Kickstarter, which I said would, well, I've done a video. I'll put the splash screen up here for you to check out, and I'll put it in a link at the end of the video if you're interested in watching it, or I'll just put the link up above. It talks about, oh, you've got a budget for Kickstarter, have you? But potentially the competition could just be an expansion that comes out, or maybe 2 expansions that come out in 1 week, and you can't get a new Kickstarter because, you know. And this is a good example of that because we've also got Tainted Grail, so that's 2 big expansions this week, which are insta-back. Yeah. Gallica, fantastic studio from Poland, in fact, and the plastic watermarkers will go with like the ammunition and all the components they did an amazing job with them. Reference sheets for each person is neat as well. And the companion app, which is just like a version of the Choose Your Own Adventure big book. But I'll tell you, I never actually played this app, so I can't really tell you anything about it. But because I like the book, the old school of the book. But certainly if you've got like 4 players and stuff, excuse me, that would be kind of appreciated, because it speeds things up a bit. It can be a bit clunky if you're playing with more players, if you're rolling between screens and stuff. Sorry, if you're like turning pages and stuff, because they often say, what was that choice again? Oh, you can lose the page, and it gets a bit messy. I really hope that Gallagher get on to Forteller and get Forteller's audio service, because man, this would be spectacular with Forteller, because it's so richly narrative, and the Forteller team do all of, like, not just the voices but the sound effects and ambience and music and stuff. It would just be fantastic if they could upgrade it towards that. That's kind of my biggest dream for it. Anyway, it's funded pretty much in the first hour, easy. More ships coming. These look fantastic. I like the idea of the submarine. And yeah, buffing out the sea cards. This is absolutely phenomenal. The hammerhead shark, which has been autonomized somehow. There's been weird stuff happening in this post-apocalyptic world. This new knight. I like this guy. He looks like kind of one of the islanders that you've got, but he's a bit modernized, but still keeping his cultural look. Mana Rangatira. Hey, he's very good at negotiating. Look at that, 2 green die. Hey. You are going to be going to places, and it'll be like saying, this guy's got like a broken machine, you can try and help him, and it's going to need a tech roll. Or this person's injured, well, I can help you because I've got aid. Things like this. You might need to track somebody, you'll need survival dice. Negotiation might be with a shop so you can get better gear. This kind of things. This guy's pretty equal on guns actually and blades, which is interesting. Alright, social stretch goals, so yeah, get on it! Eye patch, ooh. I like the little social things like this. Hopefully people can bang this out, because I'm assuming everybody that's jumping on this Kickstarter yeah, you know, we're all, we all own that 2nd edition, and we want more of it. Yeah, we want more of it. This amphibian, for example, here, 5 carrying ability. That's great, isn't it? Has a lot of fuel as well. A peg leg. It's interesting. So yeah, €55. I'm sure we're going to get more in the updates on, you know, what is involved in this big expansion, because a lot of it is the actual quest you're going to be going on and all that stuff. Now, if you've not got Waste Knights, then this is a great time to come in. And 180 is not too shabby actually. Now, if you're coming in from retail, you can get the Tales from the Outback, which is a Kickstarter upgrade. That will bring in lots more vehicles. It'll bring in extra cards as well, so you can upgrade vehicles and upgrade them in a great way, like you become a mechanic. And it introduces a boss, an end boss, which is what this Kickstarter exclusive mini is of the Dreadlord. Is that what his name is? I can't remember his name. I'm not very good with names, am I? But you can see the boxes look great. Now, I'm not sure if you get this 180, are they going to come in 3 boxes? I don't know if they're going to do a bigger box for you or whatever, because the original Kickstarter, you got the base game and all the exclusive Kickstarter stuff was inside the box. It all fit in, so it was really nice. I don't think they're going to do a big box. Oh my god, the playmat! I did ask Gallagher, they're going to have this double-sided, so you've got like the islands and that, but if you need this map and the island board at the same time, maybe you need a second playmat? Question mark. Now I say that, Endless Winter, they had 2 playmats for their board, so you know it's not a ridiculous thing to say, but potentially maybe getting the playmat. It does say you will be charged separately for the shipping of it, which is like a common thing at the minute on Kickstarter, to pay extra for it. We're going to see this more as we go through the next few weeks. But yeah, it's 20% bigger, and I'm all about that. The playmat should be bigger, and I'm mega excited about it. I'm a little bit deterred by the blue again of the ocean, because it should have more aqua colours in to show the reefs of Australia, and you only get that deep blue if it's deep ocean, and there's no deep ocean around Australia much. It's, you know, it's beautiful blue, light blues, aqua turquoise colours. That's where people go surfing and all that stuff, and then it goes deep when it goes vaults down. So heck, I used to be a surfer back in my day when I was a university student in the noughties, but yeah, it's, you know, if you put in water it needs to look fantastic, because otherwise it just becomes a black colour that's like a Photoshop paint bucket blue, isn't it? And it's like, you know, your artist could actually come here and do some spectacular stuff with it. So yeah. Dice tray. Yeah, if you want the dice tray. Additional dice if you've got 4 players. Outback Chronicle. This is kind of good to make notes, especially if you're going to replay a chapter, because you might want to do the different path, and trust me, the different path will take you on a completely different thing. So, you know, there's definitely 2 playthroughs in every chapter at least. I mean, when it comes to the end of the chapter, there's like, it forks off so many, branches off so many different ways, like. The Red Lord, that's the guy on the chair. It's like a little nod to Game of Thrones, isn't it? With guns at the back. It's kind of fun. This is for people in the retail, isn't it? You've got the Mr. Mall here, which is the Traveller. That guy was like the Kickstarter exclusive. The other trader. So there you go, you can get the retail box, 70. Now potentially you might want to check your retail space to see how much Waste Night 2nd edition is here, just to save you on shipping, because it's all going to add the weight, isn't it? And maybe pick up this. It does say this is going to come as a specific box in retail, which is interesting. So I don't know. You might as well just get the 2nd expansion. The 2nd expansion's not going to come out until December, and you might be able to pick this up in retail. They've not suggested any price. You know, usually they have like recommended retail price €50, and this is €40. Well, we don't know how much of a saving it's going to be, and you're going to have to wait anyway. So I'm going to wait till December, if potentially. Scavenger, €7. This is the shop guy, really good. Who's that for then? Because that guy is in here, isn't he? No, that's Mr. Mole. Who's this guy? The scavenger. That's not Mr. Mole. It is Mr. Mole. I guess that's for people that missed him on the first Kickstarter. Because he's coming in the Kickstarter box. But if you got the Kickstarter, but you didn't get Mr. Mole here, there's a chance to get him again here. This is what this is. Kind of complex. Check out the videos. They're all really, really good. And of course I did a video, did I, on this? Maybe. I really can't remember. I've got so many videos on my channel now. And it's hard to know if you did a video when, you know, you got it and loved it. Interesting shipping. It says Sands, Alaska here. Sands, is that actually an English word? Not including. It should I've not seen this Sands been used before. Yeah. Rest of the world could be 60, it says. Ooh. I'm hoping that Mexico one sits at around the Canadian. Especially for the expansion if it's just 55. Yeah. Well, there we go, peeps. I'm certain there's going to be loads of updates as we go through here, just to kind of explain why it's a massive expansion. Because, yeah, we've got new knights. Yes, we've got loads of vehicles. We've got loads of new items. We've got new mechanics coming in. New upgrades for our knights coming in. But the meat and potato of the game is, of course, the campaigns. The scenarios and things that you're playing. That's what we kind of need to know. But if you've got second edition, you love this game. You want an expansion that expands everything, including a playmat that makes the world even bigger. Yes, please. So there's lots of like amazing stuff happening. I don't know, could they not just do a giant board with these islands on it? This playmat is 100% bigger and includes all islands in the second edition. Oh, yeah, that'd be the one to get, wouldn't it? And hey, if I'm paying extra shipping for that, then maybe that should be an option. It would be really big. But beautiful at the same time. Alright, peeps. If you like adventure games, if you like roleplay games, high theme, high narrative, very, very cool. Light roleplay like D&D levels 1 to 3, but in a post-apocalyptic characters. And you can tune the game to make it survivability if you want. If you want it to be survival, you can tune it, or you can tune that out. You know, you can wire it a little bit to your play group as well. So, you know, there's lots to actually make this game good for you. But if you like all that and you don't have Waste Knights, I would massively recommend that you get it, because it's like super unique in board games. And there's nothing like this other than kind of Mad Max, but it's kind of evolved from Mad Max. Like it's, I don't know, 50 to 100 years after Mad Max, when things have developed. Society's kind of come back, but it's still a bit not as it were, but you know. Say the sanctuaries to go to and cities that you can go to where they take your weapons off you and stuff like that when you go in, and there's all cool stuff in the game. But if you've got Waste Knights, there's 100% all backers are coming back for this. Absolutely, peeps. I'm telling you, that's going to be a sign of how great this game is, that all of the second edition peeps come and get it. And of course, if you've got it at retail, this is a fantastic opportunity to expand that game and get those Kickstarter exclusives. But that retail box that's coming out before this seems a little bit weird, doesn't it? If it said the retail box is coming out in 2023, that might think, oh, I might as well get it on this Kickstarter because I'm gonna get it early. Anyway, peeps, there you go. Wastelands. It's one of my favourite games. If I had to do a top 10, I don't like doing top 10 lists or anything like that because a lot of the top 10s are games that, one, they're out of print, and two, you're not interested in it, maybe. And three, they're Kickstarter exclusive, so you just can't get hold of them, rare as anything. I'll maybe do a top 10 when I get 1,000 subscribers, if that's interesting. I don't really go for top 10s unless it's like in the year, of course. I like the year ones because they're a bit more, live, and this channel is mainly about making sure that every video is going to be live and important and right in this minute. You watch a video and you can get that thing. It's that's what this channel's all about, is this kind of idea of persistence. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal Kickstarter. I'm really excited to see what gets unlocked and stuff, because it can go a bit bananas with Galaga and all that good stuff. But yeah, do check out that video about the biggest competition of Kickstarter, because it's like an interesting philosophy, and this is just one example. Expansions to games you already have, you're going to go for because it's less risk, isn't it, than other companies. Like a new Kickstarter company coming on with a game that looks good, compared to, hey, Galaga here with an expansion. Boom! I've already Kickstarted with them. They've delivered perfectly here. The quality of the game was incredible. The art was just dreamlike, and it was a fantastic experience. The only thing I want from the game, really, now that they've provided a bigger map with a play map, is support from foreteller. Because that would wake the community up and tell people that this is a narrative game, which of course it is. But if you get the foreteller treatment, that'd be heaven on a stick, people. Ooh yeah, baby. And of course you'd have to pay extra for that, but you'd want to pay extra for it because the immersion factor goes up to 11 with that app. Just makes it so much richer experience at the table. So fingers crossed that can happen. And I'm going to keep banging this foreteller drum. If you've got a game that tells a great story and it's a narrative campaign, even if it's got branching storylines, foreteller app is for you. Get on it. And I say that because a lot of publishers aren't aware of foreteller app. They just don't know aware of its service and how good it is. But that's because it's kind of coming into mainstream slowly, isn't it? But anyway, there's Waste Nights 2nd edition. I'll keep ratting on about foreteller if I maybe that requires a special video. That kind of be a good one if I did that. Anyway, peeps, let me know what you thought about this Kickstarter. Have you played Waste Nights? I'm not talking about the 1st edition. I mean the second, pimped up, completely redone 2nd edition is what we're talking about. The Kickstarter special. Do you have that? Are you coming from retail? If you are, this is going to be an easy back as well, isn't it? What would you like to see on it? For me, it's foreteller. What would you like? Maybe some extra night abilities. Well, that'd be nice. And I don't know, maybe, you can get to level 9. It'd be nice to get to like level 12, wouldn't it? Get to that level 4 role-playing game, especially on those longer campaigns, if you could level up a little extra, just to make it a bit easier. That'd be nice as well. Extension of the board and all that. And, no, I think, can you flip it? I really can't remember. It's been a while since I've played Waste Nights, because I maxed all the content out last year in COVID. But yeah, I think that's going to be great anyway. Peeps, Waste Nights Beyond the Horizon. Do we recommend it? Absolutely. If you've not got the base game, get it! potentially see how much it is at retail, and because you might save yourself a lot of money on shipping, and just go for the expansion is what we've got here. And all that stuff. Check with your retailer of choice then how much it's going to be for the Kickstarter box from the first Kickstarter. But yeah, looking stunning, peeps. It's Instaback for me anyway, because I'm a fan of Wastelands, and I love post-apocalyptic goodness, of course. So my favourite game being Fallen Land and all that jazz. So yeah, Wastelands Beyond the Horizon. A must-have expansion if you've got the base game, because it just extends all the cards in the deck, adds new mechanics, even allows you to travel between the ports, and is going to give you more story content. We really want to know how much more, of course, but that's just cherry on the cake. Cherry on the cake, cherry on the cake, cherry on the cake. And yeah, so on that bombshell, peeps, thank you so much for watching. Think about giving the video a like, please leave a comment, of course, and think about subscribing if you're new here, and you can welcome the channel. It's an amazing community we have that responds in the comments, and yeah, let's rock and roll to that 900 subscribers. So yeah, I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye bye for now.